Hello everybody, welcome back to Stargirl Society, the podcast that inspires you to reclaim your power and start living the life of your dreams. I'm your host, Phoebe Goldsmith, and if you're new here, then we would love to have you around. If you like this episode, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Follow if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Make sure to turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload from me. And if you like content like this, then be sure to follow my Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith, all of which are linked below. I said this in my previous episode, but I would like to do a dilemmas episode soon, answering your guys' personal questions, personal dilemmas. So if you'd like to be a part of that episode, you can DM me at Stargirl Society Pod, or you can email me at contact.pgg7@gmail.com, which is on the screen now. And without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. So this week, I'm very much going back to where it all began. My very first episode on this podcast in the beginning of 2025 was my morning routine. And I thought it'd be really good to do an updated manifestation, well-being, self-care morning routine that will set you up incredibly for your day, especially given that the habits that I have in my morning routine are probably the habits in my life that have changed my life the most. Some things have definitely changed since that episode, so let's get going. The first thing I do in the morning is obviously wake up. Now, I used to try and wake up as early as humanly possible because that's what made me feel productive, like I had my life together. Since recording and posting that episode, I have been diagnosed with ADHD. I have grown so much as a person, and I've realized how my fear of loss of control in my life led to so many habits in my life that reflected that fear. Now, obviously waking up early is not a bad thing, and sometimes I do, which we'll get to, but I was using that as a sort of a toxic mechanism to make me feel like I was like girl bossing life. And the thing that changed that for me was discovering about my ADHD and coming to terms with my own mental health and kind of thinking sleep is genuinely the most important thing for me. So if I have work, so I have a big girl job 2 days a week, I will wake up at 6:30, which is nice because I'm able to go to bed, get an early night the night before. I think it's a good habit to be in when it's for the right reasons. However, when I don't have my big girl job and I'm doing this job, I will wake up whenever my body tells me it's the right time. Getting enough sleep has literally changed my well-being, my life, how I feel about myself. Also, as women, sometimes we need more, sometimes we need less sleep. When I am leading up to my period or when I'm on my period, I accept my body genuinely might need 12 hours sleep. And I'm not going to lie, I'm someone who could probably easily have 12 hours of sleep every night. So my first tip is to unapologetically sleep as long as you need and as long as you are able to with your work, your lifestyle, whatever. And don't always fall into the trap of waking up at 5 a.m. morning routine and thinking that all successful people on the planet wake up at crazy hours of the morning, because I have been most successful in my life when I've consistently been waking up at like 10. So I hope that helps. Next in the morning, I do like to read, even if it's like one singular page. I think reading kind of lays the groundwork for my dopamine throughout the day. It falls in line with the concept of start as you mean to go on. So whatever energy you want to bring into the day, the first thing you should do should be that energy, should be a task, should be a behavior that reflects that energy. I have to be extremely mindful about habits that I do in the morning that will scramble my brain for the rest of the day. So that's why I like to read even literally a paragraph. It helps me feel present, it helps me feel grounded, and I can kind of gather my thoughts on the day whilst doing something non-screen related. Reading isn't for everyone. I literally will read any kind of book ever. I'll read fiction, non-fiction, self-help. I read the Twilight series at the start of the year. And I think it has really helped my mood. And I think something that's also helped is having apps that I can track my reading on. I have Goodreads and I also have Fable. Fable in particular allows you to enter how much you read and then see the percentage of the book that you are completing. It's a really cute way of motivating yourself to read. Then after I have read for a bit, I will journal. Now this is where the manifestation morning routine kicks in. If you didn't know, your brain is most susceptible and is most sponge-like in the morning and the evening to absorb things into your subconscious, which is why the morning or the evening is a really good time to implement habits of law of attraction or habits of manifestation. So here are the ways that I journal in the morning that have set me up for so much success in my day and in my life. Number one, I will write down 3 wins of the day. Already. This has allowed me to cultivate so much unconditional love for myself because I'm celebrating the tiniest things. For example, I got out of bed. I tried journaling today. I opened my blinds. I took a sip of water. I took a deep breath this morning. The point is that when you're doing this, you are likely to have not quote unquote achieved anything yet in your day because it's been like 5 minutes, but that allows you to see that without doing anything, you are worthy. So it's very powerful. The next thing I like to do is write down my gratitude. So I have, not sponsored, the Stellar app, which has been life-changing. It's a manifestation app made by a creator. You can easily write down gratitude, but the Stellar app has like a space to write down 3 things or however many things you're grateful for. I choose to do 3. And again, no matter what mood I've woken up in, no matter what I'm dreading or excited about in the day, I will write down I'm grateful for this new day on earth, because that is the biggest blessing we can possibly have. And I think there are so many reminders of that being the truth in the world right now. I'm grateful to breathe. I'm grateful for fresh water. Having that attitude of gratitude is unbelievably vital in your manifestation journey. Appreciating what you already have so your energy is not coming from a place of lack. There is always something to be grateful for. It's not about toxic positivity, it's about redirecting your energy. So I will write that down in the little gratitude section of my Stellar app, and then I'll move on to my affirmations. So there are 2 ways in which I use affirmations in the morning. The first way is by going on my 2026 vision board on Pinterest. This year, I've tried out a new technique, which is separating my vision board into my why, my how, and a blessed section. My why section, because you can literally create subsections of a board on Pinterest in case you didn't know. My why section is my overarching goal, what I'm aiming for in the end, what I want out of this life. My how subsection is the steps I can take today, the affirmations I can go through today in order to attract that into my life. And then as the year has gone by, I eventually added a blessed subsection where when I have achieved something from my how, I have moved it over into my blessed subsection so I can look at that and be like, oh my God, I've achieved it. And I have never achieved more in my life since doing this manifestation method. So I would highly recommend. So with that, what I like to do is in my morning affirmations when I journal, I will journal from my how board. And then in the evening, I will journal affirmations from my why board. I'll just scroll down in my board and have a look at 5 pictures or so in the row that I want to be inspired by today, and I'll create affirmations based off of that. So I don't know, I'm trying to hit 300 subscribers on YouTube right now. I have that in my how board as a little picture so I can say I'm so grateful for 300 subscribers today. I'm so blessed that the universe always gives me what I want and gives me 300 subscribers today, because the universe understands my vision. The universe loves my voice. My voice is my power. You get the idea. The other way that I will do my affirmations is on the Stellar app. So when you download this app, you basically put in what life you want to live, you put in information about yourself, and it generates affirmations for you, which are really great. So it will give you 5 each day that are different, and you just like scroll through them, and then it will say you've completed them, come back in however many hours for your next set of cards. And I think that's really sweet because they're really niche and very much tailored to you, so you don't have to do the thinking. I'll put an example on the screen so you can see what kind of affirmations Stella gives me. Again, not sponsored, I'm just genuinely so passionate about this app. Then I usually like to implement even just a few minutes of meditation or breath work. I don't always have the time to do this because with focusing so much on my sleep these days, sometimes I would rather journal and put out the energy for the day and choose to do breathwork or meditation later. You can just pick and choose what goes best with your lifestyle. But most days, I'd say I love to do like a breath work or meditation. I will put all my favorite ones on the screen. And the ones I like range from 5 minutes to half an hour. It really depends and it's really up to you. But I think after I've done my affirmations and I'm like thinking about life and what I want to bring into today, I like to kind of sit with that. Or if it's a breath work, like breathe in that energy, visualize breathing it in, visualize breathing out tension or stress. You need me necessarily to tell you why meditation and breath work is as amazing as it is. It's not for everyone, but it is something that I really love and I really find grounds me in my body at the start of the day. Then I find that I sort of need to just like get up, get some momentum going. That's why I also sometimes move things around in my morning. Sometimes I need to just get up and start moving because otherwise I'm never going to get out of this bed ever, whether that's like in a lighthearted sense or an emotional sense, if you know what I mean. But anyway, I get up, I try and like make my bed because I just like coming home to a made bed. It genuinely, the dopamine rush from realizing like, oh, my bed is made, my room just doesn't look like a mess, especially if you're like me and your bed takes up like 99.9% of your room. If the bed isn't made, the entire room just looks like a tip. So I try to make my bed at the very least, and sometimes I'll just like pick up my book, my journal, like anything, the water beside my bed, and just move it to somewhere, like put it in a pile somewhere or maybe put it away. A, to get momentum in my day, but B, just to make my life a little bit easier. When you have like micro moments of organizing, of tidying as an adult, that makes your life a lot easier. So it's more for future Phoebe than anything else. It does make me feel good though. Then I will go downstairs and I will do my teeth and my morning skincare. My skincare has become so simplistic lately, just on the basis that when you have sensitive skin, like I do, I'm sure a lot of you do, the risk in spending money buying something that like may very much irritate your skin, it's not appealing to me at all, because I would genuinely say maybe 70 to 80% of skincare does not agree with my skin. And also, I'm very happy with my skin at the moment and I literally use drugstore basic products. The cleanser that I use is the Superdrug own brand balm melting oil cleanser thing. That has been the thing that I have genuinely never seen my skin so clear. It is a rare occurrence if I get a spot now, which is crazy because I used to definitely get them hormonally around my chin, around my nose. It sometimes will happen, but this cleanser is a game changer. And then I literally use the Nivea Soft moisturizer, the bog standard one. I'm not claiming that that one is great. I would love some moisturizer recommendations, but it just does the job. Do you know what I mean? And then I also use a simple SPF, which has really helped with the texture of my skin and has made my skin so much more radiant. It's kind of funny because I have very expensive taste when it comes to like body care. Well, kind of just everything. Body care, hair care in particular, makeup, definitely. Skincare is the one thing that I have found some really inexpensive products that genuinely work wonders. So there are actually 3 beverages I will have in the morning a lot of the time. First one is water, pretty self-explanatory. I feel like I get dehydrated so easily. You know when someone's like, oh, I haven't drunk water in like X amount of hours or days, I'm like, if I don't hit the actual daily goal that's recommended, like I don't feel good. So we start with water. I'm not a coffee drinker personally. Me and caffeine don't get on at all. So I like to have a decaf or a fruit tea, a herbal tea or something like that. And then my mum and my mum's partner actually make juice shots, which is so nice. If you have a juicer or a blender and a sieve or a strainer, make your own juice shots, because I think a juice shot when you're out in public is anywhere between like £2 to £4. It probably costs us under £10, definitely, to make like 30 juice shots. They always have ginger in them, and I don't know what the ginger has been doing for my life, but it's been doing something. I will tell you, it's been doing something. So most days of the week I will try and have a juice shot if we have them in, because it's definitely been helping something for my immune system, my skin. I just feel like life has been better since I've been having them. I am also a massive breakfast person. I appreciate that not everybody is. I'm ravenous in the morning. I love breakfast. Breakfast is like my favorite thing ever. So I'll always try and have something either high protein or like just filling. Hear me out, porridge is a really good one because oats are, I believe, classified as slow release energy, which means that when you have them, you're not getting this like spike of energy and then an immediate sort of come down. It's releasing energy to you slowly, so it keeps you full for longer and gives you energy for longer. So I do actually love a bit of porridge. I like having a protein yogurt and some fruit. Sometimes I will just have cereal, but I try to have like maybe toast or a crumpet or something just filling, because as much as sleep is my fuel, food is my fuel. And I'm talking about like mentally. You don't want to be around me if I haven't eaten a good enough breakfast. Also, for anyone with ADHD, it has been said that protein is extra good for us and our brains, and especially for breakfast. So that's a little tip for you. And I have definitely noticed that my brain functions more when I have a really good, potentially high protein, but definitely filling breakfast. After that, then I will get ready. I'll do my body care. I like to moisturize my body in the evening when I shower, but usually my legs and maybe my arms as well in the morning, because I do suffer from dry skin and I want to just be as moisturized as I can be at all times. Obviously, then I will get dressed, brush my hair, then I will use maybe a hair oil or hair perfume. I love the ones from Rehab. My mum introduced me to that brand and their hair oil is 100% the best, or one of the best hair oils I have ever used. Perfume, jewelry, all that jazz, that will go on then as well. And then the final part of my morning routine, which is a new manifestation technique that I have been using, is called mirror work. I'll put the video and the name of the creator that I used when I initially discovered mirror work. She goes into a lot more depth to it than I'm about to, but I'm just going to share what my experience has been with it so far and how I utilize mirror work and how I feel like it's helped me. So as the name would suggest, you basically just need a mirror. I like to sit in front of my big full body mirror, but it could be a handheld mirror. It could be literally anything, your bathroom mirror, something where you can see yourself basically. And basically the idea is that you are essentially speaking affirmations to yourself, looking yourself in the eyes to the point where it's uncomfortable. And when you do it for long enough, you basically start seeing your mirror reflection, speaking these affirmations as your future you. Say, for example, I sit down by the mirror, I put on some manifestation music or a song that makes me feel like empowered, whatever. I'm looking into my eyes, I get comfortable for a while, I just stare at myself. And then maybe, I don't know, say you wanted a Porsche. I might look at myself in the mirror and say, I'm so grateful for my Porsche. I'm so unbelievably happy that I finally have my Porsche. This feels incredible. This feels amazing, blah, blah, blah. And you're looking at yourself in the eyes. And weirdly, you kind of eventually start actually seeing that reflection as something different from the you that is sitting there right now. Like you're sitting in front of yourself, your future self, who is telling you these things, because obviously you're watching your reflection telling you about the thing that they already have that you want, because you're using affirmations in the present tense. The reason this has been so incredible for me is because sometimes I think I used to have an issue where I could visualize a dream life, but I never felt like it could be my life. Phoebe Goldsmith's life. Mirror work allows you to visualize your dream life on yourself, not on somebody else. The words are coming out your own mouth. That version of you is telling you that they have that. That is the game changer, and that is why mirror work is so incredible. And that is what makes it realistic for you now, because you see yourself and you start to think, if she can have it, that's literally me. That means that version of me is within me. I'm watching my own self achieve something, speaking about achieving something, not some other random girl, not someone who I don't think I will ever be like this is me. And it's nice to do this at the end, because you might be going to face something during the day, like an interview or something, where maybe you've just put the outfit on and you're leaving the house to go to this interview, and you're looking in the mirror at the girl, the version of you in the exact same outfit that's going to the interview you're about to go to that has got the job. Does that make sense? So by all means, you can do it in your PJs, whatever, but doing it as the version of you that's about to step out into the world, I think can be quite helpful. And that is where my morning routine for manifestation ends. I will then get on with whatever I am getting on with that day. So going to my big girl job, doing my podcast job, going to the gym, just existing, having a rot day, whatever. If you stayed to this point in the episode, comment down below the sun emoji. I really hope that you found something that you might want to implement into your own morning routine now, or habits that you just might want to add to your day in general for manifestation. I would love to hear what your favorite part of your morning is, or something that you want to implement into your morning. I really hope you loved today's episode. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Follow if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you like content like this, then you can follow my Instagram at Stargirl Society Pod and my TikTok at Phoebe Goldsmith. Remember, if you want to be featured in the Dilemmas episode, then DM me at Stargirl Society Pod or email the email on the screen, contact.pgg7@gmail.com. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week in the next episode.